the daggum Epstein files. You know about Jeffrey Epstein and gasoline?
I watched a documentary on him one time on Netflix.
Oh,
you remember that clip I showed you?
Yeah. And what did they allow?
It's vulgar, too vulgar for the show.
Oh, okay. Well,
so I just know a little bit about it.
Well, you know a little bit about him. Yeah. That is right. So Jeffrey Epstein.
He's a worm, isn't he?
Well, he's evidently dead.
He's a hammer now.
Yeah, but he was a worm.
Bad guy. Well, now that Trump is in office, as he was running for office, he selected Pam Bondi to be his attorney general, and he selected Kash Patel to be his what's the director of FBI? Yeah, FBI director. Dan Bongino as well to work on this case. Well, now that they've got into office and they had a little power and Kash Patel's uncovering things, they are doing the exact same thing as the Biden administration and not releasing any files, not releasing any details, and covering up what happened. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino get on TV and do an interview and say, well, it's evident from what we've looked at that that Jeffrey Epstein did kill himself, and there's really nothing to see. There's nothing to see. The whole months of you running for, of Donald Trump running for office and you being selected as his cabinet members, you promised that you would unveil all of these things. You would release them all. He just said, I don't know why you can't just release them. Be transparent. What's the big deal? They're there. We'll release them. Well, what's interesting about that is Kash Patel then went on the Joe Rogan Experience, the world's largest media platform, and Kash Patel went on there to set the record straight and essentially said that all of the footage that we have, we will release. He's like, and then Joe asked him a question, whatever, and he gets to the point where he basically says, well, there really is no footage pertinent to the case. And he says, well, do you have footage or not? It was just this bizarre string of conversation where it's evident that he's lying or something else is going on. And, ultimately they've come out recently and what did they say recently? There's not even a file, Paris James. There's not even a client. There's not even a file. It's just going away. This is case closed. Huh. So they did exactly the opposite of what they said they would do and continued to do the same fashion of cover-up as the Biden administration was doing.
And they can hold those files legally. Obviously it doesn't really matter, but there's nothing against them holding files from public information.
No, a lot of this is many years ago with the Patriot Act, they protected themselves from spying on U.S. citizens and withholding classified information as long as they want. I mean, there's no repercussions to this, really. So,
but Trump, he was quick to unveil all them other files, sign and release all this public information, wasn't he?
What, with the JFK files and the Martin? Well, see, that was a sham as well. Nothing has been released that wasn't already publicly available knowledge. Yes, you can go declassify 10,000 files, but if it's all 10,000 files that contain the same information of things that has already been declassified, you haven't declassified anything.
Yeah,
there's still a portion of files that you're holding on to. Well, why?
Yeah,
it's easy to go declassify a bunch of stuff that when you select it out and know that, or you declassify things, but names have been redacted and all this stuff. Well, that's not declassification.
Right.
You're continuing a cover-up. And not to continue on this or belabor the point, but what are the options for why this is being done? Is it, Elon Musk came out and tweeted, well, it's because Donald Trump is in the files. Yeah. That's why it's not been released, period. Let me drop the bomb on you. Well, maybe he is. There's definitely a connection with Epstein and Trump. They've talked. They're in photos together. There's a lot of witnesses that say Ghislaine Maxwell and Trump's previous wife, Ivana Trump, Ivanka's his daughter, Ivana, were seen in New York City driving around girls' preparatory schools and talking to people and doing modeling recruitment. Donald Trump is he runs and owns the the model pageant competitions. What's that called? Miss America?
Oh, really?
Or that kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, he's deeply entrenched in that world, but I'm not implicating Donald Trump. I don't know what he's done. Just because you were in a photo with a shady guy doesn't mean you're guilty. Maybe I might be in a photo with some guy that's a bad guy one day, and I don't mean I did anything with him. It just meant I came across him one time, Yeah. So that doesn't implicate his guilt, but there's a lot more that would lend itself to believe that Donald Trump is involved or has ties to it. But the bigger thing is not even Donald Trump himself. I believe there's more, there's way more people that you would want to protect the body at large than just Donald Trump. And I think that's the answer, is it may be him, maybe not, but it's a lot of really important, powerful figures that do not want that information being released.
Yeah.
A lot of people trusted Cash Patel, Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, and now that they are in office, they are acting as everybody has previously that were holding that office. You act one way when you're on Fox News, and then you get into office, and about the same issue, you've had a complete reversal of stance and opinion and what you say about it.
Yeah.
What happened since they've been in office? And that's what I always ask about politicians. I'm quick to say basically all politicians are bad people, but I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that maybe are local politicians or know local politicians. Maybe they're family, and they're like, well, he's not a bad guy, and he's the mayor of my town. I know him. And that may be true, so I don't want to be quick to generalize and say that. But I think the higher you go into politics, we see this shift often. There has to be an explanation for why that happened.
Yeah.
Cash Patel was saying one thing. Now he's holding an office and he's saying another. Why? What happened in that time?
Nobody, they won't answer that question.
Right.
And, any of the stuff, like if you say there's nothing of it, then why not? What a dumb statement.
You can release everything then.
Then put it out and I'll decide if there's nothing of it.